All right, today we got a Mustang Shelby GT500 back here. We're doing, this one was ceramic coated about a year ago, so it's in great condition. It's a garage vehicle, and it's usually only a weekend vehicle, if that. So we're actually just gonna give it a maintenance wash with O&R, which is in the link below. We're gonna do a O&R wash and then a quick bead maker maintenance wash on it. And I'm gonna show you guys how to do this with no water, and minimal tools.
So would this be like a rinseless wash or a waterless wash?
Yeah, this is gonna be a rinseless wash. With O&R, you can rinse the car down beforehand if you need to. Right, today we're just gonna saturate it with the O&R itself and the saturated towels, and I'm gonna show you the method that I use.
I'm curious, why didn't the customer want a regular wash?
Well, the vehicle doesn't get a lot of driving. The least amount of touching the vehicle, the better, for the paint itself. With the O&R, with very little dust on it or very little dirt or debris on it, the O&R actually is gonna encapsulate all of the dirt that's on the surface of the vehicle. And then with a moistened towel, it's probably one of the safest, most gentle ways you can wash a vehicle.
All right, let's get started. So, what's the first thing you do, man?
Okay, so for the rinseless wash, as you can see, I've already pre-treated the surface. I'm using all clean towels, obviously, because we're touching the exterior surface. These are the softest towels I have, and I grabbed some new ones. So I'm letting it dwell just on this section here. So I have the O&R sitting, and what it's doing right now is it's encapsulating all the dirt on the surface. I've moistened this towel quite a bit. You can actually soak it in the bucket overnight with the solution of O&R if you'd like. That's a method that a lot of detailers use. I just tend to saturate out the towel and let it get really, soaking wet, so it has a lot of lubrication when it's hitting the surface of the vehicle. So now that we have this area lubricated, the towel is all moistened. What we're going to do is, with no pressure, we're just going to set it on, and then we're just gonna drag it through. This is a ceramic coated vehicle, so it's extremely smooth. I'm not putting any pressure. I'm not causing any damage, any swirling or scratches. Just picking up. And if you notice, I have this folded into sections. So this section now has dirt on it. I have it folded in. You could see this is the area I use. You can see all the dirt on it. So we're not gonna use that one anymore. So now when we have it folded, we're gonna use this section next. Then we're gonna flip it over, use these sections, and then we're gonna do it inside out. So each towel gives you 8 different sections. So, essentially 8 different sponges, so you're not introducing any of the dirt back into the body of the vehicle. So now, we're just gonna go back through with our drying towel and dry that section off.
All right, I'm curious.
Yes.
Would you wipe down the whole car first with the O&R and then dry, or are you doing section by section?
I'm doing section by section. I'm just for teaching purposes with Sal, but you can do the entire vehicle. The good thing about O&R is that it actually has a water softening agent in it. So if you're using this in direct sunlight, and it dries up on you, you're not gonna create any water spotting. This is huge for detailers that are working in the summertime. If you don't have access to deionized water, if you're working in direct sunlight, if you're working in extreme temperatures, you're able to use this process and get optimal results. This is a process I used probably 95% of the time before I had my van. This was the most economical way. This method allowed me to make a lot of money with very minimal equipment. Today, all we're gonna use is the pump sprayer, the O&R solution that's in there, maybe a couple brushes, glass cleaner, bead maker, tire shine, and a lot of towels. That's it. All right, so since we're not using any water pressure, there is going to be some areas where where excessive water gets trapped, where we're trying to dry it out. So what we do is we use methods, and we're not using the blower also to get excessive water out. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna use different methods in order to get in between these hard spaces. Sometimes we'll get drippage come down through here, and obviously I can't stick my finger in there. I don't want to jam the towel in there and try to shove it in there and scratch it. So what I'm gonna do is gently slide it through, pass it through, and then I'm gonna pull it upward just to make sure that I'm getting underneath the spoiler as well, and just, you know, just letting it soak in and then gently pulling it out. These areas here as well, these are very tight areas. You can see water's kind of puddling here. What we do is we're gonna use our fingers to go through and get in these areas here very gently. This is all piano black, so you guys know piano black, you just look at it and it scratches. So we want to make sure we're very, very gentle in these areas here. Same thing around the emblems. You want to shape the towel in order to get all these little small sections and areas without scratching. You don't want to put any pressure. You just want to maneuver the towel properly to get all the dried areas out. Okay, so here's another reason you want to use a higher pile towel and a higher GSM, a longer GSM, because not all GSM necessarily means that it's a higher pile, but you want a higher pile towel so you can get into edges here. If you have a lower pile towel, you're gonna have to shove it in and apply more pressure, but with a higher pile towel, you can just get it through here and it's gonna pick up and get in there real nice. So you're not having to worry about leaving any areas unclean.
Okay, how many different types of towels do you think there is, or a detailer should carry?
As a detailer, I think you should carry at least 4 different types of towels. You need designated glass towels. You don't want your glass towels touching anything that's going to be touching, you know, if it's touching oil, if it's touching the, you know, any kind of grime on the surface of the car. You don't want that contaminating your glass towels, because glass is really sensitive when you're trying to clean it, and anything could smudge and cause smearing. So you should have glass towels. You should have exterior towels. You should have polish removal towels, which you can use for, you know, you can use as interior towels here and there too. I have towels that are just throwaway towels. Most of the red towels you'll see, those are throwaway towels. I buy those in big packs. Those are my most inexpensive towels. And I use those for glass, but I also use them if I have like a grimy engine, or like somebody has gum on their carpet that I'm trying to steam out, you know, something where I know I'm gonna have to throw it away.
So that towel is dirtier, so you're gonna use it for the dirtier part.
Yeah, we call them grimy towels. So just to keep it easier, we have, you know, polished towels, glass towels, and they're all color coordinated. They're all by the Rag Company. I'll have a few different ones listed in the links below. But yeah, it's good to have different ones for certain specific tasks. And it's just saturating lightly the areas in here, getting it moist, and then I'm gonna go through with one of my grimy towels. I'm gonna get this guy wet, and I'm gonna do the face first, and then I'm gonna go through and do the barrel. And when I do the barrel, I'm gonna push everything back. I'm not gonna be pulling anything forward when I do the barrel, because if I pull anything forward, then I'm getting the face of it dirty again. So here I'm just gonna go through lightly and make sure that I'm contouring everything with my fingers to make sure I'm getting all these edges and the little crevices. And if you have to, if you need to get a little brush, you can go through and get a brush through here. Again, this is a garage vehicle, but if you have something that's a little bit grimier, I would suggest probably hosing it down first. If you don't have a hose, you can even use the rinseless wash. You can spray on there, or through a water bottle, spray on it, and then scrub it out with the brush as normal, and then ultra saturate it with the pump sprayer to pull it all off. But just know when you're doing a rinseless wash, you're going to go through probably about 3 to 4 times the amount of towels that you would if you're not doing a rinseless wash, just because you don't want to introduce any more contaminants to the surface. You don't want to be spreading around any of the grime, because you are going to be picking up quite a bit on your microfiber towels. And then after we go through and wipe all these guys here. What we're gonna do is gonna go through with another microfiber soft towel. I don't use drying towels when I go through my wheels. When I'm doing a rinseless wash, I just use one of my softer towels that's not used for as grimy of work. So this is like my second level towel. So I have my greens that are my cleans, I have these, and then I have these. So those are the tiers in which we use our towel system. So this portion is just gonna go through and dry up. Again, it's a higher towel nap, so you're gonna be able to get into these little areas a bit better to dry. We're gonna get everything here at a certain level. We're not gonna pull anything towards us. So I'm just going around lightly, pass that through. And this can be a little tricky, but you just have to figure out a way to get it through here. Just have to thin out the towel to make sure that you get all those areas. So I got that front portion, so now I don't have to worry about anything that was close to the front coming out. So now as I go through around the back, I'll just repeat this process of pushing everything outward. And then I'll fold the towel, so now I know it's clean, so there's no more contaminants coming back at me. So then I'll go through, push it backwards. And then make sure you're lifting the towel up as you're pulling it out so you're not getting any of that grime. And then you're left with nice clean barrel on the inside. Okay guys, so right now I'm actually gonna give you guys a little heads up on, a lot of people have been asking the difference between the Dream Maker and the Bead Maker. So Bead, they're both amazing products. Some people are saying, oh, the Dream Maker doesn't have protection. It's not meant to have protection. It's more of a showroom gloss. But this stuff here is a lot easier to use in varying conditions. This I can use in cold weather. I can use in hot weather. I wouldn't recommend anything in direct sunlight, but if you apply it to your towel and spread it on, it's gonna be a lot easier to amplify the gloss. Yes, we're not gonna have the protection as Bead Maker, but you are gonna have some amazing gloss and ease of use out of this guy here. So for example, this is a ceramic coated vehicle. This vehicle here, it's about 10 a.m. I was trying to apply Bead Maker with the dedicated Bead Maker towel from the rag company. As I was applying this guy, I was noticing it was smearing and gumming up a lot. So what I had to do was I had to switch over. So I went over to the Dream Maker. Since this already has protection, I'm gonna use a Dream Maker, which is just a gloss amplifier. This went on extremely smooth with their dedicated towel. And I tried using it with another towel, wasn't working as well. So if P&S and the rag company, if they're pairing towels, they work closely together. So their formula is meant to be used a certain way, and they're developing the towels based on the formulas of P&S. So they're actually working extremely well. I tried all of these in different combinations, Bead Maker with this guy, Dream Maker with this guy. It just doesn't work the same. This one is working for me in this situation. This is the winner. And for all of these products, of course, I'm gonna hook you guys up and I'm gonna put the links in the description below. Okay, so as you maintenance vehicles over a period of time, you start to learn the angles of the car, the way the car sits. You start to see where the water channels out through. This vehicle specifically here, it's going to always channel out from the doors. As you can see, we haven't finished up yet, so you'll see leakage coming out of certain areas, certain emblems. Back here, water's gonna channel out of the spoiler. So what we do is as we're walking through and finishing up, this is why I usually do 2 to 3 rounds at the very end of whatever sealant that I'm applying on the vehicle. It gives me time to go through and make sure I'm touching up these areas as well. So you're not leaving any excess of water puddling or gathering in any area that could possibly create a water spot. We did a rinseless wash, so with these, as they dry, they're not gonna leave any water spots. We're not gonna have to worry about that. So this is also a great method for people that are learning how to detail, so you don't have to worry about the whole time management thing when you're foaming the car, washing the car, drying the car. You know, water spots can be a huge issue. That's probably most detailers, most beginners' biggest problem is trying to finish the car without creating any water spots, without creating any more work that you're gonna have to, you know, polish out or use some kind of clay on the surface in order to remove. So these are just little tips as you go around. You get familiar with the cars, just hit those areas as you go through systematically while you're finishing up the car to make sure that it's ensured that everything is dry when, you know, upon leaving. All right, guys, there you go. Finished up the rinseless wash on the Shelby GT500 Mustang. I'm gonna have more tricks and tips for you coming your way. But if you need any information now and you're looking for more information on the rinseless wash process or any process relating to the detailing business, go ahead and click the link below and we could set up a one-on-one consultation. As for now, you guys have a good one. Like, subscribe, and share.